Oborevwori has described the passing of elder statesman Edwin Clark as the end of a great era. He said the news has left a deep sense of loss across the state as the Delta State House of Assembly during Tuesday's plenary honored the nonagenarian activists, a tireless voice for the Niger Delta people. Iken Amechi reports.
The sudden death of Pa Edwin Clark, the revered leader of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, and the South-South People's Assembly, and the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum, has come as a rude shock to the Delta State government and the entire nation. In a heartfelt condolence message to the Clark family and the Ijaw nation, Governor Oborevwori, in a statement issued by his Chief Press Secretary, Festus Ahon, described Pa Clark's life as one that was well spent in service of the nation. At the Delta State House of Assembly, legislators observed a minute of silence in honor of the elder statesman. The Speaker and other members of the House shared their moving tributes, reflecting on the indelible mark Pa Clark had left on the region and the country at large.
Pa Clark was an enigma and an iconic classic leader. He was a prominent advocate for the rights of the Niger Delta region. He was like a book full of many chapters for every one of us.
Vincent Oyibode, who worked closely with the late Ijaw leader as the national youth leader of PANDEF, described Pa Clark as a man of many parts, a visionary, an activist, and a mentor whose influence reached far beyond the Niger Delta.
Activist is that is the word. He was a main activist, a social crusader, and he's a peacemaker too. When we got the news that he passed on, it's so painful, shocking, and he's a man that we will live to miss. We will miss his boldness, we will miss his courageousness, we will miss his intelligence, and we will miss his education to us.
The death of Pa Edwin Clark, coming just days after the passing of the Afenifere leader Pa Ayo Adebanjo, has further deepened the collective grief felt across the nation. Pa Clark died on Monday night at the age of 97 in Abuja, leaving behind a legacy of unwavering commitment to the people and the causes he held dear. Iken Amechi, TVC News, Asaba.
A senior reporter Iken Amechi joins me from the country home of late Edwin Clark in Kiagbodo-Burutu local government area, Delta State. Iken, we saw a lot of people, especially dignitaries from around the country, in his home in Abuja yesterday. What is the state of things in his home in Delta State?
Well, Precious, I really did not get what you said last day, but I'm at the country home of the late elder statesman Pa Edwin Clark in Kiagbodo-Burutu local government area of Delta State, where the people might be mourning, but for the last word of Edwin Clark, that they shouldn't mourn him when he passed, when he died. Whenever he dies, you know, he lived a life of a selfless life, and of course, he lived it well at 97. And of course, he wanted them not to mourn him, but to celebrate him. And obeying that, the people are actually here in Kiagbodo, in his country home, and they've opened a register, a condolence register, and of course, set up a kind of canopy here and the music by the side, ready to dance and merry for the life and times of Pa Edwin Clark. And of course, he lived a life that, you know, everybody in this community cannot forget in a hurry, in the sense that there's a university, a private university here in Kiagbodo that is named after him, Edwin Clark University. And of course, we're there earlier, and everywhere in this community, they have a memory, or any indelible memory of what he did in making sure that this community is not just known, but also recognized, as well as Niger Delta and the state is from Delta State. So his he's going to be missed by the people of Kiagbodo and indeed Niger Delta and Nigeria at large. Precious.
Anika, you've started touching on it because I was going to ask you to sort of share with us what you're hearing from people beyond the university, how it impacted the community and impacted their lives as well.
All right, he's the most eldest of the Clark family. Is one of the younger sister, and of course, she told us about his elder brother. They referred to him as the father. How he's a disciplinarian, and of course, an outright he's a voice for them, and he's always fighting for the downtrodden, those who their voices cannot be heard. He's always at the forefront. And from what one of his children, his adopted children, said, he said, Pa Edwin Clark does not know when to stop fighting. And even one of his last words to everybody said, keep on fighting until there's a better Nigeria. And that is not just for his children, but for everybody, and for everybody, both in the political class and everyone. Make sure we have a better Nigeria for all of us. And his legacies are just there for everyone to see. And the people here are missing him out and are hoping that he'll be immortalized more than just this Edwin Clark University named after him. That's his own way of immortalizing himself.
Absolutely, Kenna. When he speaks, you will know he's a disciplinarian. A life worth celebrating indeed. Thank you so much for the update from Delta State. Reporter Iken Amechi live for us in Delta State.